to make money. Bettors.
What's up, everybody? Episode 49. Getting up there in the episodes. Coming back at you. NFL action, week 4. So far, we've been literally just even Steven, muddling along. And I'll take it, I guess, for now. You know, we got to figure it all out. A lot of games going weird ways, right?
Oh, God.
It's like we're already out of the survivor pool we went into. 3 picks and 3 weeks, and you're out of here. So that wasn't the best.
Who would have thought the Bengals would shit the bed twice in the first 3 weeks already?
Yeah.
And just ruin it for us.
Yeah, for anybody who's in survivor pools, the Circa Survivor had 14,000 entries, and they're down to 640 entries or something, or 940 or some bullshit. Pretty wild. 95% or 90% are out, and we are one of them.
Yep.
So there's a consolation prize. The owner of the hotel says, if you got knocked out and you had multiple picks, come on down for a free couple nights.
Sympathy
Sympathy.
nice, he says. Free sympathy stays.
Sympathy stay, consolation prize. Oh, and by the way, while you're here, please gamble and just lose more of your goddamn money. Good times. All right, how we always started off. Let's face it. I guess I'll take the first one. Brett Favre, obviously, you know, former Jet for about a year. Had a lot of scandals, you know. So there was the scandal where he was a dick pic scandal he was in on. Then there was also a scandal where he was potentially scamming some money, federal, or you know, there was kind of government funds that they were taking and being paid weird ways. So he was testifying in front of Congress. He actually mentioned that he was diagnosed in January with Parkinson's disease, and he said he saw multiple doctors.
5.
5 doctors, yeah. And they said that if it's not in your family, you got to start looking at if there's any head injury type things. So, you know, he's, you know, historically been known to say that he had a lot of concussions. Mm-hmm. So, you know, this stuff's not good. And, you know, you kind of see these guys with the big, funny hats on their helmets these days, and you go, they're probably not dumb.
Not dumb. Seems like a good idea.
Yep.
I have no idea why you have Derek Carr on here. Oh, he got fined. I
Derek
know
Carr,
why.
of course.
I forgot about that. I wish I could have seen. I haven't seen it, but I mean, we watched the game, but I missed his little touchdown dance. So Derek Carr got fined for doing, you know, wholesome Derek Carr little touchdown dance where he mocked. Well, not mocked. He impersonated Michael Jackson and celebrated his, you know, glorious touchdown throw. But he did grab his nuts a little bit, and
that's part of what Michael Jackson did. He did it. By the way, Michael Jackson did that on prime time. We grew up. We watched
Absolutely.
the video. He did it. So can Derek Carr do it on Sunday? Apparently not.
Apparently not. I got fined, what, $14,000?
$14,000. And there was guys that were punching people and getting $11,000 fines. So a little bit of an overreaction, but maybe they did it because he's a quarterback. You know, he's kind of one of the guys in the league that you're looking up to. So
I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Derek Carr, stop grabbing your crotch in front of the kids at the game. All right. Then I'll go to Aaron Rodgers. So on the Pat McAfee show this week, it was pretty interesting. They brought up a quote from an article that was talking about the Jets locker room and how it's in disarray and how you know, the culture is really bad and all that. And Aaron Rodgers is laughing it off, and he says, I didn't read that article, but from the sound of it, it almost sounds like it was written by Hassan Reddick's agent. So it's pretty funny that he's willing to talk a little shit about the guy who has not signed yet, which leads me to believe that inside the organization, nobody thinks he's coming, right? I mean, he wouldn't talk shit like that on that show.
He might. He thinks he's God Almighty, so he might say something.
That's true, actually.
He might say it anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't trust that.
You want to take your boy?
Of course. I'm like, if we're going to talk this nonsense about Aaron Rodgers, we are going to address the most amazing human being in the world, Joshua Allen. I don't know if you didn't see the highlights, watch the game on Monday night, because, you know, of course we had to have 2 Monday night games. I don't know why that's a thing. So instead of everybody in the world just watching the amazing Bills demolish the Jaguars, they also had the Bengals suck and let the Commanders beat them, which gives us a little interesting insight into the Commanders team, I will say. Yeah. But anyways, that game, Joshua Allen threw for 307 yards. He got 4 touchdowns and 142.1 rating in that Jaguars game alone. Already, it's week 3, and the entire stadium was just cheering MVP. It was the best game ever, but it brings us back to Josh Allen should be MVP at this point. Like, I know we have the rest of the season, but he has been seen to be the team, carry the team on his back. Now, which I said it the week before, I'm saying it again, my team actually looks good for a change. Like, it's not, he's able to, if you saw Keon Coleman, he got Shakir, he got everybody. Everybody got hit with a pass. Okay? Diggs, keep that in mind. Everybody gets a little taste. James Cook, it was a fantastic day. But he is MVP. I think we need to keep that in mind. There should be no more of this, he's overrated. Fantastic job by him every week so far. Bills are undefeated as of now. Obviously, we've got a week coming up, and we'll talk about that later. That's going to be a statement game for both teams. Just which one is it worth more to? But MVP, also, I have to give it out to the Mafia. They were loud. They were all singing Mr. Brightside, because if you guys ever saw, there was like a little video that came out where they were all at Dawson Knox's wedding, all singing that song. So the whole stadium, when it came on, they all started singing it. The players had either a commercial break or were on a timeout. They all started singing. It was ridiculous. Such a good vibe going on, Bills, that day. Loved it. Can't wait to see that again. But I just want to, campaign Josh Allen, MVP, not overrated. Yeah,
well, so look, this season so far, he hasn't been turning the ball over. You can knock on wood on that one. That's the only reason he probably didn't get MVP last year. I mean, he had the yards, he had the touchdowns. I mean, a million touchdowns between rushing and passing. So it's probably the turnovers that did it. But
yeah, but people put Mahomes in their mouth all the time. He loves throwing interceptions and picks.
Historically, Allen has much more turnovers than Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. They're either even or he's less. Check the stats.
We'll check. We'll fact check her on this one. Hit us up in the comments about that one, because I don't think it's true. All right. Next up, Zach Wilson. People talking about him right now. Miami had these injuries. They had Tua go down. Then Skylar Thompson's dealing with a rib injury. Questionable whether or not he's going to be playing. They have Tyler Snoop Huntley. Adam Schefter was saying that if he was the Dolphins, he'd be calling up Denver and saying, "What do you want for Zach Wilson?" Then, on top of it, there was rumors this week and today that the Giants have inquired about Zach Wilson as a backup. Now, they have Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, we know about that, but Drew Lock has been dealing with some injury stuff too, so maybe they want to add a little depth there. Just a little bit interesting to note. People are starting to see, maybe these guys are not so bad after they leave. Look at Sam Darnold. Like Belichick was on McAfee's show this week, and he goes, Sam Darnold, he goes, the only people that didn't like Sam Darnold were the Jets. He goes, he went on to the next two teams he went on to. Everybody loves him, but he's the only one. So he's taking a little bit of a dig. Fuck you, Bill. But I get it.
But yeah, we kind of noticed that trend. That's where quarterbacks go to die, and hopefully they can resurrect somewhere else later. You know
what I think they're saying is they're hoping that they learn that you got to be more patient with these guys. You got to give them a longer rope, give them time to develop before you throw them in. And unfortunately, what we did was we have a shit team, and we just take the guy and throw him right in. Hey, go learn. And it doesn't work that way. I mean, Peyton Manning ended up doing that, where they threw him in right away, and his first year was shit, second year kind of shit, and he eventually got there. And Andrew Luck too. But there's plenty of guys that just go to die. It's like you threw them out there, it was too early, they're dead. So now we see these resurrected quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield, Jordan Love, who's waiting on the sidelines. You got Darnold making a comeback.
Andy Dalton.
Making
his third comeback.
That's true. All right, last up, and let's face it, Derwin James, Chargers, one of the best players on defense, suspended for a game for a hit that the league didn't like. It was interesting that they wanted to throw him on there because they in the letter that they wrote to him when they fined him, it was just really angry, strongly written letter where they were
worded letter.
Yeah, they said you have blatant disregard for the rules. You're doing this multiple times, and this is it. We got to fine you. So you're not playing this week.
Huh? All right. Well, do the right thing.
Yep. Next up, how do we do betting? Our hit rate was pretty good, but there was some stupid bets. I blame myself on betting a bunch of money on the Raiders because I was chasing after a couple losses, and I didn't even want the Raiders. I didn't put them on there as if I was betting them, but I lost 2.75 units on that, so that was dumb.
I took the over on your stupid game. That was joke.
Who would have thought? Oh, yeah, I hear you. I mean, well, the other teams sucked, so.
Yeah, well, you could have done a little bit more things.
Well, and then the Bucks. Who would have thought about the Bucks, right?
Jesus, that
What
was
the
a
hell?
joke. Oh, my goodness. So, again, this is, week 3. We've never had to say this before, week 3. Where, and we've been in a few bars. The sentiment travels. It's not just us. What the fuck is going on with some of these teams?
Oh,
like,
up
you
and
really,
down.
you can look at stats. You can look at, player history. You're like, this is going to, they're not even close. It's not like, oh, they just didn't cover. No, it's like they got blown out. They got dominated. And that's why the survivor pools are just tanking to like nobody. Everybody was complaining about their survivor picks. A lot of people had the Bucks again.
Yeah.
It's just, and you could see at the bars where it's people gambling, just being like, what are you doing? And that's been the last 3 weeks. I don't know what's going on with some of these teams.
Yeah, there was a stat, and probably updated since then, but I knew that at the time it was if you take underdogs of 5.5 points or worse, right, where they're getting a bunch of points, they covered at 13-2 outright. They won money line. So those, I mean, think about, those are plus 400 type of bets, and then they won 13 out of 15 times. So pretty wild. A lot of upsets, a lot of weird stuff going on, but we're learning. That's what it is. The book's learning, we're all figuring it out, and. If you look at it right here, positive on the hit rate, bet a decent amount of units because there's chasing, and still ended up just up marginally. But you take up all the time, even if it's a small amount.
Go up.
You were down, yeah.
But at least my Lions and Ravens bet, which my Ravens bet should have hit well into the game. However, they allowed the Cowboys to come back for a bunch, which
True.
made me had to sweat it out. It's just
I
ridiculous.
after losing a bunch of the 1:00 games, went hard on the Seahawks, which was already my lock, and I already had a decent amount, so 4.5 units on that one, and then the Bills to close out the week, and added to that bet as well. So that was a good savior, and it was great because there was no point in that game after 1 minute into it where I thought I could lose the bet. So love those, not sweating at all.
Yeah.
All right, injury report. I mean, there are so many freaking injuries. It's like we could put 1 million people on this thing.
Right.
And it's like you try to pick and choose who matters or whatever. But there's some quarterbacks out there that right now, Herbert.
So Herbert's questionable. I just want you to know I changed that because we had him as out, but now they're saying, there's a shot that he's going to play. I don't know, guys. If he does go in, I would not put your money on the Chargers at all. He did one turn wrong last week, and he just did more damage to the ankle. I get it. They have nobody. They just need to shoot him up and put him out there. But there's a good chance that he'll hurt himself again in the same situation. So right now he's questionable. I would treat it as if he is just out for betting purposes.
And Jordan Love, I mean, again, this is one that's been back and forth a little bit. I think they want to put him out there, but Malik Willis actually had a pretty good game. He was efficient. It was 13 of 18, 13 of 19, something like that. 200 yards passing, 188, some ridiculous amount of rushing yards too. So, credit to LaFleur making that offense still work and getting a W when you don't have your guy in there. But they said he'll probably play though. I saw 70%. Who are these guys that says 70%? I know that the coach didn't say 70%, but I read online 70% he'll play.
I like that 70% because either he's not playing or if he is playing, he's not at his best.
Sure.
And I am betting with that in mind, which, again, we will get to later.
Yep.
We talked about Skylar Thompson before.
Yep. I mean, Devonta Smith, you guys see him get smashed?
Yeah.
Oh, man, he got demolished out with the concussion. I actually saw a video. I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah.
The guy diving in afterwards where he was already on the ground,
nice.
and it was a Eagles player dives in late. So not
Saints.
Saints
They play the
player
Saints.
dives in late and then spits near him while he's on the
Jesus.
ground with a concussion. It's pretty wild. So that's crazy.
He's questionable, though. So
Yeah, I know. I gotta imagine he's not playing.
Hopefully.
Be
He needs
smart
a
about
break.
it.
Yeah.
Adam Thielen out with the hamstring. That's probably gonna be a couple weeks. Sam Laporta, that's is a big one for the Lions game, questionable. And then we talked about Skylar Thompson, questionable. So, all right, let's get into the games. Thursday night football: Dallas Cowboys in the divisional NFC East matchup against the New York Giants.
Who the hell cares?
Yeah, this is like growing up as a Jets fan. it felt like it was always watching the Giants, Cowboys, or the Redskins. They used to call them, when everybody wasn't
Trying to bring it back.
racist.
The Blackfeet tribe are very upset. They want their chief back on the helmet. It's been put out there, just to say.
Yep. So not excited about this one, but it's Thursday Night Football. I think we both think that we'd probably go Cowboys on this one.
Yeah, I just don't want to waste my time watching it. So if we turn it on because we got nothing better to do, then I'll put money on the Cowboys. But I don't really want to watch that train wreck happen. So
yeah, look, the Giants had a good game where they won.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. I don't know. They played the Browns. We were happy for the Giants.
Yeah.
It's good for their fans. Give a little hope. Like, you can't just suck all the time. But I don't know how you're going to do against the Cowboys. Also, you don't know how the Cowboys are going to do. Cowboys are always a toss-up.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors is a beast.
Yes.
And Danny Dimes has a weapon over there. I always like Singletary out of the backfield.
Miss Singletary.
The Cowboys, they should be, but look, they're 1-2, right? They're a little bit weird this year. Are they gonna get their shit together? Thursday night, I'm gonna stay away from it.
Yeah. Well, this one we have the Saints at the Falcons is my lock of the week. Now, this one's a little challenge of one, but I'm taking it. Falcons lost to the Chiefs by 5. Not terrible. Okay, it's the Chiefs, and they always find a way to win. Even if it's by 2 points, they'll find a way to win. But they look good up against the Chiefs. They're going up against the Saints. We watched the Saints and the Eagles game, all of it, because both teams were not playing Sunday, so we were able to pay more attention to other games.
Yep.
It was 0-3 for like 3 quarters. It was the last fourth quarter that things started to happen. It was not impressive. Now, I know they had a good game the week prior, but the Falcons with Kirk Cousins have been doing a good job. I know they're 1-2, but like I said, one of those losses is to the Chiefs. I think being at home against the Saints, they could cover this 1.5 spread. I'm taking them as my lock.
Yeah, I agree with that one. It's a weird thing, it's the public money. 91% of the public is on the Saints. So you can think about this a couple different ways. We think about public money. Usually the casinos will adjust the line because in theory they want to have half the people betting on both sides. But the reality is they actually are taking action. So when they don't move the line, they're really just having a view on the game. I think the bet for the Falcons is actually a bet on the side of the casino, and the casino's usually right. So
casino's usually right. So follow my lock of the week, people.
Yep.
All right. What's up next?
Next up, Eagles, Bucks.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Yep. It's these teams are exactly the epitome of what we talked about earlier, which is who are you going to get?
Yeah.
Are you going to be Baker Mayfield throwing 4 touchdowns? Are you going to be Philly putting up 30? Or are you going to be Baker Mayfield losing to a shit team last week, and then you're going to be Philly
throwing many picks interceptions,
and,
whatever.
So this one's a little bit tough. I don't like to stay. I like to stay away from teams like this where you don't know which one you're going to get because it's like flipping a coin. Wait till they figure their shit out. Wait till they get on a little bit of a roll. See who's good. See who's bad. But for me,
it's an interesting one to watch and not bet, just to see what are they going to do, how are they going to be, or catch the highlights the next day, just to be like, okay, for next week's bets. Because right now they're just, who the fuck are you going to get is definitely the.
I know, and they're both 2-1, and it's like it almost feels like they're worse than that.
But if you were really looking at it, the performance that the Bucks put on last week versus not the performance the Eagles put on. The Eagles' defense was very strong against the Saints. And, their offense has shown up the other couple games. So I would put my money on the Eagles if I was desperate, I guess is my point. So that's where my thinking on leaning towards the Eagles is. But I don't want to do anything with this game because I'd rather watch and see what you're going to get. Here we both agree.
Yeah, we both agree. Vikings at the Packers. Mm-hmm. Look, you got to ride the hot hand, right? The Vikings 3-0 here. Darnold's been playing really well, and to me also you have the Packers, with a kind of injured quarterback, or is it the backup quarterback? I just think that you gotta feel that Minnesota, Justin Jefferson, the weapons that they have, that they're going to be able to win. The Green Bay has not been putting up a lot of points, and Vikings have.
The Vikings are getting 2.5 here too, so that's
Yeah.
another added bonus. I think you find out who's playing quarterback. Either way, I think you just kind of got a free few points given to you. So I took it right away, and I think it's a very good bet.
Yep, for this one, we're on the side of the public where 81% of the bets are on Minnesota. Oh, next up, Denver Broncos at the New York Jets. Now, if you told me after the Jets game, what should the spread be, I would probably agree with what this spread is. But then Denver actually looked pretty good on Sunday.
Yeah.
And you're wondering what the hell happened. Bo Nix looked like a superstar. I think that the thought here and why the spread's 7.5 is just that the Jets have been able to figure out some rhythm on offense. They're getting a lot of third downs. They actually lead the league in third down conversion percentage. And so they're going to stay on the field. And then on the Denver side, when they have the ball, you got to imagine that the Jets defense is going to get after them and get after that rookie quarterback. So,
well, as a non-Jets fan, looking at this, I would lean towards money line. I mean, obviously, don't want the Jets to win, just because you can't do that. But I think that's a high spread to cover.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
After what I saw last weekend, you would have asked me 2 weeks ago. I'd be like, absolutely, I'll take the Jets, make some free money. But for me, that's a too high of a spread. So I would lean money. Like, I think they'll win, but I don't think they're going to cover that spread.
I agree. I mean, if this spread was 3.5, 4, I hammer the Jets.
Yeah.
I'm not hammering them at 7.5 over a touchdown. Tough one. All right.
We have the shitty Jaguars at the shitty Texans.
This is my lock of the week. Come on, guys. There's going to be no scoring in this game. The Jags have to show me. They've only put up, 10 points, 13 points, 19 points. They're not putting up any points. Both of these teams are coming off disappointing losses. The Texans really, they came out first. They beat the Colts, and they put up, 29, 26, something like that. They look pretty good. Ever since then, though, not good.
It was 34-7 against the Vikings. They got 7 points against the Vikings. That's
Yeah.
it. Texans.
Yep. Losing 34-7 against the Vikings is disappointing. And I think this one, 45 points, I think the under-over on this one should be probably 38. So hammer the under 45, and when the score comes out at 17-13, you'll know exactly what I was talking about. Lock of the week.
Yeah, I'm just leaning on the Texans only because they're home, and the Jaguars looked so bad. I mean, so bad against the Bills that you kind of have to lean that way. I mean, obviously, I think you're correct with the under, but I hate unders. I hate unders. Sorry, I know you can make money off of them, but it's just like, ooh, no points scored. I don't know. It's not worth it to watch.
Yeah.
It might be embarrassing to watch both teams play against each other, but at least the Jags have a shot at this one.
Yeah, I mean, shot at covering maybe. I don't know.
Like, just not looking like shit, maybe practicing a few things,
Yep,
not
76.
embarrassing themselves.
76% of the public is on Houston on this one with the 7 points. So I think it's really that effect of like, whoa, the Bills just fucking stomped on their throat. It looked like it was JV versus varsity.
Oh, yes.
It looked so bad. Trevor Lawrence he's bad.
Yeah.
I don't think he's good. I don't know. I mean, he's got, he turns the ball over. He looks weird in the pocket. There was one where he spins away from nothing, and he's just in the pocket still, and he gets sacked. It looks terrible. So
I don't think we could call him T-Law anymore.
No. And a fun fact, Trevor Lawrence is the first player in NFL history to throw an interception to somebody who died.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
So,
good job.
Way to go, T-Law.
T-Law. But DeMar Hamlin, fucking sick. Good for you, bro. Good for you.
Cool. That was cool.
Shows you can do anything. You can overcome anything.
Yep.
All right, I could talk all day about that game.
Steelers at the Colts.
Ooh.
We're both betting this one, but we're betting different ways, but not against each other.
So again, last week, because neither of us had games playing, you really get to pay attention to some of the other games going on at the 1 o'clock time. And that was the Steelers versus the Chargers, where, again, we lost more money because the Chargers couldn't get it together against the Steelers. Now, what I did notice, because I had not watched the Steelers at all until last Sunday, they have a really good defense.
Totally.
And, Fields is doing well. He's doing better than what he was doing with the Bears. So I definitely think that they can cover this -2 spread. The Colts did not look good defensively against the Bears. So that's going to be, I think, just another additive for the Steelers to be able to score, run upfield, and get those touchdowns. So I'm putting my money on the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the under on this one. I mean, I think, classic Mike Tomlin type of situation. He's going to control the clock, control the ball. They'll against that Colts defense, they'll be able to move it a bit. I think Justin Fields going to have a decent game here. But the Colts will turn the ball over, too. So I think that the Steelers will get some takeaways. My guess is this game ends up being 20-13 Steelers, and I do really like that under 40 points because I think that, that's the Steelers are not going to put up 30 on you,
Sorry, Mr. Noobs.
Sorry about that.
All right, then we've got the Rams at the Bears. Who cares?
Yeah, the Rams, I think they're, still dealing with injuries, but look, they freaking came back and beat the Niners,
But we said it was the injury bowl. It's kind of like, who could just kind of suffer through it a little bit more. So I'm not sure how much that showed you in that game. The Bears, they're at home. That's helpful. They're trying. Caleb Williams is looking decent. It's just like there's a lot of coaching issues going on, and I'm pretty sure hearing from Bears fans is just like they are not happy with the coach. They don't think he's doing using the weapons that they have correctly, dealing with time control correctly. But if we still have all those injuries out, I think the Bears have a shot at this one at home.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams threw 363 yards. It's like one of the highest it's ever been thrown by a rookie. Might have been most ever, I'm not sure. Definitely by a Bears rookie. I would lean on the over on this one, just because the Rams still are able to put up points. Sean McVay figures out a way to do that. And look, if the Bears continue to kind of put up those amount of yards, it should convert the points at some point. You can't have the turnovers and all that stuff, but pretty low total. So I'm going to go lean on the over, but I'm not betting this one. 76% of the public is on the Rams on the road on this one, plus the 3 points. So, all right. Both on this one. The Bengals at the Panthers.
Fuck the Bengals. Oh, my God, Burrow. Screw you. Screw you. You've screwed us twice. You can't. You're 0-3. You deserve it. I don't know what's going on with that team. But then you've got the Red Rifle, the Red Rocket, whatever you want to call it, man. Andy Dalton is showing himself, and he's at home in North Carolina. I'm taking them all day. They get points. Let's go. Let's go. I will be a Carolina fan for one day this Sunday.
Yeah, look, and it's an NFC team. Who cares for us? Home dogs at 4.5 points. I think that's aggressive. I think there's still this hangover from last year where the Bengals are good. It's like, look at them. They're not good. They're not a good team right now.
They don't know how to play with each other for some reason.
They're 0-3. I know that it's 1 and 2, but if you look at the Andy Dalton era,
right,
they're 1-0.
They're undefeated,
and they put up a shit ton of points. I also think that translates into the locker room buying in all week. Let's fucking go. So, and they know it's a beatable team, and they're at home. Yeah. I like the home dog on this one.
Definitely.
Look, maybe they end up sneaking away with Bengals sneak away with a 3-point win. Still, you won the bet.
Still cover,
right?
This is a good spread. It's what you call a good spread.
Yep.
All right, another game that we probably won't watch. The Commanders at the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I mean, the Commanders looked good against the Bengals, but again, the Bengals are trash.
Yeah, look, Jaden Daniels hit 91% of his passes last week. Crazy, rookie record. That last ball to Terry McLaurin, dropped it in a freaking bucket. Perfect for the win. Very impressive. That guy looks good. I always liked him more than Caleb Williams and some of the other quarterbacks in that draft. But the Cardinals, they didn't look that good last week, but they've shown some signs here. I mean, look at that total. Freaking 50.5. They think there's definitely going to be some scoring here.
All right, well, you got to deal with the little, Kyler Murray that's going to be jumping all over the place. And that's kind of why I would lean on the Cardinals. I feel like it's going to be a little too much for the Commanders' defense to handle. But I'm not that, what do you call it? Convicted in it because I'm not betting it. I'm just leaning. Yeah,
I would lean on the under the 50.5. Seems like a high total for this one. I mean, is Washington going to string together 2 in a row that look really good? Maybe, but I'm not touching it.
Ooh, can I take this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Next up, we have the Patriots at the 49ers. Now, who would have thought I would put my money on the Pats? Because fuck the Pats, right? No, they're not an issue. I was slightly worried after watching them beat the Bengals, but now we learned what the Bengals are. Watched them against the Jets. Now I thought the Jets could be a little bit better against the Patriots, but the Patriots still stunk. I think, though, you've got all these injuries still with the 49ers. Nobody significant is coming back this week. and the Patriots get 10 points.
It's a lot of points.
I think they could actually cover it, and why not make some money? I refuse to make money off the Chiefs still, okay? That is never going to happen. But I will, because they are not a threat. Make a little bit of money this week off the Patriots. I think that they can cover this 10-plus spread because the Niners are still so banged up. That's the only reason why. If it was a regular Niners team, forget it. I mean, but it should probably also be a plus 20 spread. I don't even think they could cover that. But I'm taking them.
I think there's there's a thought that maybe the Patriots are also going to have a quick pull on and put Drake May in over Jacoby Brissett at some point. They wouldn't like commit again to him, so it's possible even you see Drake May here starting. I don't know, but he could go in and probably get more reps this week in practice. So it'd be interesting to see the young guy playing.
Well, I also I've seen my notes here though. A good point is they hung in with the Seahawks. The Seahawks, when they played them, they went into overtime. The Seahawks won by a field goal.
Yeah,
that is also something to show like they could. There's a good shot that they could blow out this plus 10.
The only reason
spread.
that this is 10 points is because the Jets made them look so terrible.
Right, in your eyes. I don't know the rest of us.
I mean, we missed a field goal on them. There was a lot of other things. It's a blowout. It's a
right,
blowout.
you guys should have done better.
Patriots had the ball for 20 minutes last week. But look, this is a mini bye. So this is a Thursday night game. They've had 10 days of rest, which also helps the Patriots, right? They have to go across the country, but
whatever. I'll make some money off of them this one time.
Yep, next up, Chiefs at the Chargers. Big spread on this one. I mean, look, the Chiefs are -8, and they're on the road here. But I understand what's going on. I mean, you have a hurt Herbert. The Chargers really have not looked that good.
They pulled Herbert out against the Steelers because he got hurt, and it just went even more to shit after that. So they're not a good. They don't have a good backup plan. And you're going against the Chiefs. The Chiefs will find, the Chiefs should do better than the -8 spread. But again, fuck the Chiefs. Not putting my money. I don't even want to make money off the Chiefs winning.
Yeah, I mean, surprising at the -8 on the road, and still 71% of the public is on the Chiefs. I think you have a lot of the public that just bets the Chiefs every game and just whatever. But
it makes sense because they pull out. The thing is, you got to watch the spread of the Chiefs. They'll win by 2, and they're fine with it against a shit team. They're just want to get that little itty bitty win out there. They don't need to dominate, which I think is bullshit. But they find a way. And now you're talking about the Chargers, who are all banged up. Of course, they're going to win this one.
Right, but this might be one of those things where Monkey says like the Chiefs end up winning by 7,
right,
and they don't cover.
Do they take out? The other concern I have with this is they're up so much that eventually they pull Mahomes, they pull Kelsey, and it's just kind of more of like a little fun scrimmage. Oh, let's try all of our fun little plays just to see what we can do because they're up so much. That can ruin that spread too. So
yeah, and they're still out Pacheco. I think he's still out. So.
Yes.
All right, next one, the Browns at the Raiders. I'm betting this one. I'm going the over 37. Now, I know what you're thinking. Browns have a good defense, blah, blah, blah. I think that, look, the Raiders have put up like 20-plus points the last couple games. Gardner Minshew's their guy. Max Crosby came out and he said in a podcast or interview or whatever, he's just not worried about a change here. He's their guy. Minshew's their guy. So I think they roll with them. They're going to put up 20-something. Are the Browns going to put up on the Raiders? I mean, probably. Like the last week, they didn't, frankly, look that good, the Raiders, at all.
The Raiders didn't look good. The Browns didn't look good, though, either.
They didn't look good, too. Yeah, so, again, this is going to be one where we'll see. But that low total, when I start seeing totals that are like 36, 37, and they're not in like a bad weather situation, I'm always inclined to want to take it. And this one's in a nice, comfy dome in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. All right, well, I lean on the Raiders. I also want them to win because why not? Ooh, now this is what I call a Sunday night matchup.
Wow.
Fuck the Cowboys America's game. This is America's game. This is America's game. The Bills at Baltimore against the Ravens. Terrifying. This is not no easy feat here. The Bills are even getting 2.5 points. I, of course, would lean on the Bills. Cannot bet on them because it would just ruin everything because I have yet to do so. I believe that they will win, but I will be pooping my pants the entire game because I think that it's a close one. The Ravens demolished the Cowboys in the beginning of that game last Sunday.
Yep.
But then the Cowboys came back. The Ravens have also lost 2 of the 3 weeks they lost to the Raiders. And they lost to the Raiders at home in Baltimore. So that's great for us, but it's the Ravens. I'm terrified, and I love the way that my team looked.
Of course.
On Monday night. Yes, Monday night, whenever that was. Mm-hmm. So it should be Bills by a billion.
Yeah, look, I actually think this one should be Bills by 10. I will always say Derek Henry. There's always a thing, right? You get him
always
rolling.
There.
You get him rolling. Look, the Baltimore, they're going to be a good team. They're going to have there should be a team that's in the playoffs. I know they're 1-2, but I think that the Bills are fucking rolling right now, and they got to ride a hot hand again. And I'm gonna bet them. Unfortunately, look, do I want to see them go 4-0 in my division? No. But sometimes money's got to talk, and
And people don't get too drunk. First game, the second set games. You need to stay up for this one.
Yeah.
This is one where you take a break. You skip some of those shitty, boring games. Take maybe an hour off. Go for a little walk. Get yourselves right for the Bills versus Ravens, because this is a game to watch. This is a statement game for both teams. Everybody needs this one.
Sometimes they put these games on, and it's like, you hope it's going to be a good game. This one is a game where this is the best game of the week, and everybody should want to watch this one. So I'm going to imagine people across America are going to get their popcorn out, get their chicken wings, and sit in front of the TV with their beef on whack. All right. Anyway,
America's game of the week.
Another situation where back-to-back weeks we have Monday Night Football, 2 games, doubleheader.
Yeah, but technically it's one game because nobody cares about this one. It's the Titans at the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Titans have looked pretty bad. Will Levis is turning the ball over.
Yes.
A lot of issues there. But you got the Dolphins with backup quarterbacks, and is it going to be Snoop Huntley? I don't know if you remember him. He used to be on the Ravens. Came in once or twice for Lamar. Mobile guy, but he just got signed like 2 weeks ago. So it's like how much the offense is going to know. Yeah.
So I'm actually putting my money on the Titans because I feel like this is just like I'm not going to watch a game. I'm just going to see that's over, check. Oh, Titans won. Great. Thank you for my money. Because I feel like the Dolphins are just a hot mess right now. Rightfully so. Yeah. And Titans, this is your shot to get a win on the board. Let's not be 0-4, be 1-3, just because you're playing a banged up Dolphins team.
And look, the Mike McDaniel's offense for the Dolphins is so like contingent upon timing and rhythm, and you got to have motions and all this other stuff. And it's just like if you don't have your guy in there to run that offense, it's really tough. So taking him out and trying to put somebody else in, trying to simplify things and simplify the motions and stuff like that, it's hard to do. I think that's why they're not able to string this together. So I would lean on the Titans also, but I'm not betting that one. Last game of the week, Monday Night Football, second game, Seattle Seahawks versus Detroit Lions. This is a good game, It
is a good game, and I might end up throwing money back on the Lions because I do feel like they'll cover this. But let me tell you my fear.
Okay.
Now, last week I took the Lions, and it ended up being one of the few bets that actually paid out. But it was my challenge bet because I'm like, I'm not really sure. I'm back to this one. And after last week and all the fail boats that you watch happen, I'm just like, I don't know. The Seahawks are surprising me. So I'm a little nervous for that. The Lions do have Laporta out, and that's a little terrifying. But Seahawks are going to Detroit. So there's a chance that you'll catch me putting my money on the Lions, but I'm just a little nervous, and I think that I don't want to eat my words, so
yeah,
I'm not fully committed yet.
Well, I'm committed. I'm betting a -4. I think Jared Goff, I believe, is 5-2 on Monday Night Football. Historically, this the Lions are great at home, so I think this is one where there's a decent amount of travel involved here, and they got to show that they're like the team that they were last year, where they were deep in the playoffs and making a run at it. And I just think they're a better overall squad. So I'm going to bet them -4. See what happens. But that's what they call betting.
Yep.
All right. So what we're actually betting, what are we betting?
Well, Christine has her lock of the week right off the start. Ooh. I'm taking the Falcons -1.5 versus the Saints. I think that they're going to cover no problem. That is why it's my lock of the week. Prove me right, Falcons, please.
Yep, and we're both on the Vikings plus the 2.5 points. I know they're on the road here, but look, they got to ride the hot hand. Sam Darnold and the crew going to get it done.
Good. They look good.
They look good. Then my lock of the week: Jaguars Texans under the 45 points because the Jags are bad, Texans are wishy-washy, and that 45 points is going to be too much.
What a fun lock, an under bet. I'm taking the Steelers -2 versus the Colts. The Steelers have been looking good. The Colts are questionable. I think they can take the spread on -2. They should be fine.
And same game, I'm taking the under 40 points. I just think that Mike Tomlin, ball control, they'll be able to keep the ball in their hands. They play good defense. They'll probably take it away from the Colts. And I think they'll probably keep this one relatively close, but it'll be maybe a 2010 type of thing and 2013 or something like that. It's going to be under the 40.
Then we both have the Panthers +4.5 against the Bengals because the Bengals have really screwed us, and the Panthers look good right now with Andy Dalton. I think that they can easily cover this +4.5 points against the banged up, odd playing, not getting it together Bengals team. Just very weird to watch. So let's go Panthers. And then I have the Patriots. Never said this in my life. I have the Patriots versus the Niners, but I'm taking them at +10 because the Niners are banged up, and I think that the Patriots will definitely cover this generous spread.
That's a big spread.
Big spread.
I'm on the over in the Browns-Raiders game, over to 37 points. Pretty low total. I know that they haven't looked that good, but I think the Raiders will be able to put up points on offense, probably 20+. Hopefully it's a good competitive game. We hit that over. And then I'm on the Bills, which she would bet if she could, but she can't because she doesn't want to jinx them and all
Not jinxing
that.
it.
But the +2.5 points versus the Ravens, I think they're just a better team. They should win this one by 10.
Go Bills. And then I'm taking Titans, Pick'em versus Dolphins. Probably not even going to watch it. Just going to check the score at the end that the Titans won. Dolphins are such a mess right now. And I think it's kind of free money, so I'm taking that one.
Yep. And last game of the week, I'm taking the Lions minus the 4 points at home. And I think they'll get that done against Gino and the boys and kind of give them their first loss of the year.
Yep. I might even join you because it seems like a good bet.
Yep. Well, that is it for the week, folks. Good luck in all your betting. Hope you follow us. Hope you don't. Hope you make money. If you don't follow us and you make money, then I'm mad at you. So,
Like us, whatever, do something.
Yeah.
And as always, go Bills! Go Bills!
Go Jets.
Hey,
Get the
hey.
dub. All right, like and subscribe. Do your thing, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Couple of bettors. Couple of bettors.
I want to make money. Couple of bettors. Couple of bettors.
Couple of bettors.